Hi everyone! In today's video we're going to make a lampshade together, and for that you need 2 bamboo rings, one 15 and one 20 centimeter, and one roll of 4mm single twisted macrame yarn. So let's get started. So once you have cut out all the pieces of yarn you need, we begin. And we start working with the small bamboo ring of 15 centimeters. So grab a piece of yarn and fold it in half like this. And now we're going to make lark's head knots around the bamboo ring. So with the folded part, the U shape up here, we place that around and inside the ring like this, and the ends go inside the loop and just pull it tight until it makes a knot. There you have a lark's head knot. And repeat this with all the strings of yarn all the way around the bamboo ring. When you have attached all the strings of yarn around your bamboo ring, let's move on to step number 2. And now we're going to make right facing square knots. And for that, we need 4 strings. So I'm just going to separate these here so you can see a bit easier. So the 2 strings in the middle just stay in place, and we work with the 2 outer strings. So start with the right one. Place that on top, kind of like a P. And with the left one, we go above and underneath and pull the string through the loop like that. And then you pull the strings tight. And then we repeat. And now we mirror. So we start on the left side. And again, we place the left string on top like a 4. And the right on top and underneath and through the loop like this, and then you pull them tight. And there you have a right facing square knot. And we make one all the way around. So again, we need 4 strings, and we start with the right one on top like a P, and the left goes above and underneath, and then we pull it tight. Then we start with the left like a 4, the right goes above, underneath like this, and then you pull it tight. Just repeat all the way around. And I will meet you at the next step. So once you have worked all the way around, making my final knot right there. Now we're going to move on to the next step. And we're going to make right facing square knots once more for one more round, but now we are going to connect these knots together. So you grab 2 of the left or the right strings from one knot and 2 of the other. So it looks like this. So again, with the 2 strings in the center, we tie the knot around it the same way we did before. So it should look something like this. So work all the way around for one more round and connect all the knots with each other. So now I have worked my way around on my second round and connected all the knots together like this. It looks like a very happy sun right now. So now you can now we're done with the small ring, and we're going to move on working with the big bamboo ring. But from this step, you can just roughly cut all the edges down here. So they're about the same length, around like 20 centimeters. And then I suggest you do the like fine trimming when the lamp is hanging in place when we're done. But for now we're done with this step, so let's move on with the next one. So now we're going to start working with the big bamboo ring, the 20 centimeter one. And for this ring, we work in sections. So I will show you how one section looks like and how to make that one so you can make the rest yourself. So this is one section. So we're going to work again with the right facing square knots, but in a triangular shape like this, and add some ribbons on the sides. And then we're going to connect all of it in the end. But this is one section, so I will show you how to make this one. So for one section, you need a total of 10 ropes. 8 of those are short ones. They are folded in half. 2 of them are long ones, and they are folded 55 centimeters from one of the edges. And you place the long ones in the second from left and in the 9th from left. So one step in from the edges. And what's important to remember is with the long strings, when you fold them, the folded part that is shorter are facing outwards. So for this one, for example, this is the left side. So I have the short string here. So short one is on that side. And on this side, short one is here. Okay, let's attach these with lark's head knot around the ring, just like we did in the previous step. So once you have attached all your strings of yarn with lark's head knot around the ring, we continue with the next step. So now we're going to make right facing square knots just like we did around the small bamboo ring. So just keep making that for one round. You will have a total of 5 on the first row. Now I made my 5th and final right facing square knot. So for the second round or the second row, we're gonna keep working with right facing square knots downwards. And for it to become this triangular shape, we skip the 2 on the edge right here, and we connect the 2 knots here with the center 2 strings next to each other. So again, we just work our way with the right facing square knots. So we connect the knots with each other. So for this row, you will have 4. Now I made my 4th one. Let's just straighten out the strings here. And again, for the next row, we skip the 2 outer strings here and the 2 here. You make one more row of square knots, and now you will have 3. Made my 3rd one. Now for this row, you will have 2 square knots. Now you can see it's starting to look like a triangle. So we make the last one for the tip right here. you have a nice triangle. So now it will reveal itself why we have some strings that are longer than the others. So this is the first row. So these two upper strings, place them like this. We're not going to use them. And for the next step, we're going to work with these two. So the outer edges of the second row, these are the long strings. And the upper one should be the one that is a little bit shorter. And the lower one is the longer one, and that's the one we're going to work with. Now we're going to work with the knot called vertical half hitch knot. So the upper string from the left side, so this is the left side and this is the right side. So the upper string is the one that we work around. So the bottom or the right one is the one that we're going to make the knots with. So the half hitch knot starts like this, like a P shape, and then you pull the yarn through. Simple like that. And we'll just repeat doing these. So the P shape, fold it over, pull the yarn through. And you will make a total of 18. So I have made 3. And I continue until I have 18. Now I've made my final one. And you can see when you let go, it wants to start twisting like this. Now we continue on the other side. So with these two strings right here, and again, the upper one should be the shorter one, the bottom one should be the long one. So from this side, we make the 4 shape, like this. Then you pull the yarn through. So number 4, like that, pull the yarn through. And again, you make a total of 18. So now I made a total of 18 on this round as well, on this side. I just gently help it twist like that. So now we're done with the first section. So just continue making another 6 sections until you have a total of 7. And I will meet you at the next step and show you how we continue. So when you're done making all the sections around the ring, we're moving on to the next step, and that is connecting all the ribbons that we made with each other. And as you can see, I've started here to show you what it looks like. So from this triangle, we're going to use one ribbon from the next door neighbors. So one from the right and one from the left. And you work that way all the way around. And we're going to connect these with a wrap knot, like you can see here. So grab a piece of yarn that is about 35 centimeters long. Hold these two together, and we fold the yarn like a U shape about 6 centimeters up or so. Place that on top of these strings. With the bottom tail, we fold that upwards again, and we wrap it around all the strings all at once, about 4 times. So 2, 3, and 4. And when we come back, the tail goes through the loop. And then we hold the upper tail and we pull the bottom one. We cut this off. Then you can pull it a little bit more so it's hidden. And then you adjust it like this, and you can just pull all the strings until you have it in place. Then we cut the bottom off like that. Then you can just hide that as well underneath. There you go, wrap knot. Just continue all the way around, and in the next step we're going to talk about how to hang the lamp. With the small and the big ring, the next step is to start the hanging process. And I think it's easiest to just cut out some long strings of yarn and tie them to the small and the big ring so they can hang free, and you can cut all the edges of the strings down here so they are nice and clean. So I just cut out 2 long strings of yarn for the small ring, They are about 140 centimeters. And somewhere in between some knots here, I just pull the yarn through and make a very simple, like a normal knot. On the inside, not too tight, because once they're hanging, it's easier to level the knot so the ring is leveled. And then repeat the same process for the big ring. And then you can hang them up one by one and cut the edges, and then you hang them together so the small ring goes inside the big one. And when you find a height and a design that you like, the difference between the small and the big one, then you're done. And you tighten these knots one more time. So you just make one more knot like this. And then of course you can just cut the tails on the inside. And if you want to, the tip of the yarns, the tip of the hanging, you can of course end with a nice wrap knot there. So I will just show you how I do that. So if you want to end with a nice detail at the top of the hanging, so here are the folded edges. I grabbed another piece of yarn, so I'm just going to make one more wrap knot. So fold the yarn again like this, hold it around all the strings of yarn, and we wrap it around like we did before, around all the strings. I think 7 wraps are nice. I'm going to go with that. The tail goes through the loop. We hold the top tail and we pull the bottom one like that. And I cut the tip right here. And I just pull a little bit more so it's nicely hidden. We cut the tail at the bottom and we're done. You made it your very own macrame lamp. Great job. Thank you so much for tying knots with me and Mia today. Don't forget to check out more videos on our website, and I'll hope to see you in the next one. Bye.